What's up, YouTube? The Chaotic Dragon is back with a list of cards that will be probably useful for the Link Summon format. So, in case you guys haven't noticed, I'm all about these Link Summons. This whole idea of slowing the game down, saying, oh, you have to get a Link monster to get to the extra deck, I love it. And I am ready and prepared to give you a list of cards here, 40 cards that might be decent in Link format, and you can obviously use these with various decks. And the idea here is to get your creative juices flowing, so that you, the duelist slash creator, can be prepared for the up and coming format, and probably don't have to break the bank or get rid of cards. Now, first things first, we're gonna start with Mecha Phantom Beast. Tetherwolf. Now, you don't have to use him specifically, just any of the Mecha Phantom Beasts that summons a token is a good choice, because a lot of these Link monsters require 2 or more monsters, and depending on which one it is, they may not necessarily be specific. So the idea here is, boom, you've got your 2 monsters, make your Link monster, and now you have access to the extra deck. Now, obviously, the idea here with all these cards is that they are combo pieces. Remember that. None of these cards are the end-all, be-all, like this is all you do that turn. So make sure you remember that these are, again, combo pieces. Summoner Monk, ditch a spell, get another monster, boom, 2 monsters. Rescue Rabbit, ditch itself, get 2 new normal monsters. And there are currently Link monsters in the game that require normal monsters. So, actually, what we do know is that there are ones that require normal monsters. There are ones that also require effect monsters. So, if you do use Rescue Rabbit, make sure that you're using the same 2 normal monsters, and make sure you get the max use out of it. Agent of Creation, Venus. Alright, Venus says pay 500 life points to get out a Shine Ball. That's why the Shine Ball is down here. The idea here is that you'll pay your 1500 life points, get your 3 monsters, make your extra deck open, and then continue your plays, hopefully going into the extra deck again, using your Venus as material. Since we're also theoretically going into a slower format, now I do think it's going to be slower, but not as slow as a lot of people may be predicting it's going to be. So some of these cards may not be as useful as I think they're going to be, but in the off chance, we're just going to go ahead and assume it's going to be okay. Tengrisnir, the Nordic Beast. If it dies in battle, you get 2 Nordic Beast tokens. So the idea here is a lot of these guys summon tokens like Dandelion, Scapegoat, Reptile and Spawn, Multiplication of Ants, Fires of Doomsday, Multiply, let's see, where is it? Oh, Searing, Firewall, Scapegoat. These cards all summon tokens, and you're going to see a few of them here, like these trap cards are token summoners. So basically, you could ultimately just say anything that summons tokens. The good news is they don't count for the tribute of a tribute summon. The bad news is most of these cards say you cannot use these, you can't summon monsters this turn that you do it. But that's neither here nor there. It just depends on your deck. So just, make sure you read your cards and know what you're doing. Experiment, I recommend DevPro. Download that stuff, guys. It's definitely a powerful program. The idea here is like with the Dandelion here is you activate Foolish Burial, send it to the graveyard. Oh look, 2 tokens. Boom. Now you have instant access to the extra deck. And all you did was activate 1 spell and send 1 monster to the graveyard. This would work whether you discarded it to do something else, like, I don't know why you would play Dandelion in, say, an Empowered Warrior deck, but let's just use it as an example. Activate your Empowerment Field spell, ditch your Dandelion, get your free monster from the field spell. Dandelion gives you 2 free monsters from the extra deck, and look at that, you haven't even used your normal summon yet. So, there you go. If you control no monsters, have no hand, summon Infernity Beetle, ditch Infernity Beetle, get 2 new Infernity Beetles, and voila. That's the secondary strategy. From what it looks like to me, at the time of making this video, tokens are allowed to be used for a Link summon. So that's all well and great. But in the off chance that it's not, I'm going to give you a few options for monsters, since that's why you're seeing cards like Dupe Frog, Infernity Beetle, Speedroy Terratop, and a Venus on this list, and Rescue Rabbit. The idea here is instead of going for an Exceeds play, you'll be going, which is what you normally do with cards like Venus and Rescue Rabbit, you're going to be going for a Link Summon, which actually can be more beneficial, especially in the case of Venus, because let's face it, none of the rank 2 monsters are really all that intimidating, but the Link monsters, on the other hand, they all have decent attack points, and many of them seem to have decent effects so far. Though in the starter deck, we're getting a monster that is basically a walking solemn by ditching the cards in its linked zones, which can be quite useful. So if you wanted to, in theory, you could go, okay, put Venus in one of the zones you know you're going to put linked to it. You know what I mean? Like, so you just put Venus smack dab in the middle of your board, just a guarantee. Then you summon the Shine Balls in one in the other zone, and then the other two that are not in the linked zones, you ditch them for the summon of the Link monster, and boom, now you have your combo piece right there. You have a walking solemn that can just ditch one of these two monsters and say no to pretty much anything. Alright, the other strategy is also, like I said, that's for summoning extra monsters. Now, if Spheroid Terratop doesn't get touched, it's going to be obviously broken, and it's going to allow us to keep playing at a faster pace in the Link format. So hang on to your Terratops, guys, because if it doesn't get hit on the ban list, this thing could very well go up in price in Link format because it doesn't cost you your normal summon and gives you 2 monsters. So instead of making an extra deck, say like an Invoker, many players will be using the Terratop engine, or the Spheroid engine, excuse me, to just make a Link monster and continue to play the game, because it will not cost you your normal summon. It's really looking like the best ones are Link 3, so you're going to need combo pieces. Now, mind you, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just saying that you're going to need to be prepared for that. Now, the other thing is there's going to be some powerhouse spells that I think are going to do the most benefit for you, and that's going to be the spells and traps that I think they're going to be the most useful. I'm going to go ahead and just slide them over here to the bottom. Let's see here. Just because these guys can summon more than 2 monsters, so I'm going to just put them in the bottom row. Okay, and I think, well, that one's depends. We'll go ahead and toss that there. Yeah, okay. So, in a nutshell, most of these cards are only going to give you 2 monsters, but, let's see. Oh, you don't want that one. That one's a depends. Okay, most of these cards are only going to give you 2 monsters, but if we start here at the Ninjutsu Art of Duplication, Protasa Brethren, Soul Charge, Machine Dupe, Obedience Schooled, Rekindling, Infernal Reckless Summon, Agent Venus, Backs to the Wall, Scapegoat, Scapegoat, and Multiply. These cards are all going to guarantee you of 3 or more monsters. Now, the reason why this is important is because it seems to be that the most powerful of these Link monsters require 3 monsters, but obviously, remember guys, this is at the beginning of the game. Alright, this is not set in stone, this isn't, you know what I mean, this isn't a permanent thing, this is a very temporary thing. Because I'm sure Konami's going to release Link monsters that require like 1 monster and are absolutely broken. You know, they'll be like, oh, I require 1 monster, and I open up 3 of your extra deck, your main deck monster zones to be used as extra deck monster zones. You know, so, you know, at this point of making the video, this is really right here. What I think is going to be the bread and butter. Now, mind you, all of these cards have conditions. So you're going to have to play smart about it. Like, for example, the best ones probably to use are going to be Agent Venus here. I believe Multiply. Infernal Reckless Summon. Soul Charge. Obedience Schooled. Rekindling. Machine Dupe. Okay, yeah. Hold on, guys. I know it doesn't make any sense what I'm doing here, but I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. The best ones to use so far out of this entire list from from Multiply on, it seems to me, because these cards come with the least amount of conditions. Like, for example, from Multiply all the way down here to back to the wall, these cards require... These are the cards that are going to let you have a board set up. Now, Back to the Wall is a little on the slower end, so if you don't want to use that in your 6 Sam deck, if you're even playing 6 Sams, I completely understand, because Double-Edged Sword Technique might be a safer bet. However, if you're playing a deck that plays fire monsters with 200 defense points or less, boom, use them, make your link monsters. Basically, what these guys are going to do are there's going to be what I call play enablers. The ultimate goal here is that you want to be able to play the game immediately. Set up your link monsters, set up your board. And these cards right here are going to let you do it. The rest of these guys can too. They're just going to have to make you wait a turn, or you're going to have to play, or you're going to have to combo it. All these cards will probably require a combo piece. The way it looks like at this point in time in the game for Link format is it's looking like it's going to be a very combo-heavy oriented game. So it's not going to be strap on your helmet and go to battle. It's going to be you better think about your plays and be smart. Now, the good news is that a lot of players are, I'm just showing you this stuff for those players that want to use their extra deck. There's a ton of decks out here that do not necessarily need their extra deck and are very competitive, such as Cosmos. But obviously, Cosmos can also spam the board with enough monsters to make a Link monster and this go into the extra deck. So, in theory, this is a list of cards. If you guys like any sort of combos that you want to see with any of these cards, excuse me, got a bit of an allergy season over here in Texas. If you want to see any of these cards in a combo, let me know, and I'll kind of slap something together and show you what I'm working with here. I may have to change the video format just to warn you guys if you want that. I may have to find the cards physically or make a proxies and make some combo videos. Alright guys, this is the Chaotic Dragon. I'm signing out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good one.